Hello, everybody. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
And you are listening to Greynoise. All right, everybody. Welcome to episode 118 of Greynoise, the Information Security Podcast. It is Friday night. It is a little bit after 7:30, so we are starting somewhat on time. We are at the Sin Shop. That's 1075 American Pacific Drive, Suite C in Henderson, Nevada. Crux isn't here, but whether he's here or not, we are still the Las Vegas Valley hackerspace. For information on the shop, go to go to sinshop.org. For information on our meetups, classes, things of that nature, go to meetup.com/sinshop. And for information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. Do you guys have any announcements before I go on to stuff?
Nope. Not an announcement, but a question.
Okay, what is your question?
Why do you always mention Crux at the opening of the show?
Because she always shoots me this evil look like, dude, they know this already, and I'm just doing it to troll him now.
Crux hasn't been here in 6 months. When was the last time he shot you an evil look?
We have a comment
like
in the chat saying that Chen likes Crux, likes.
He likes.
Oh, totally.
I mean,
Yeah, he's really tall. He's
like.
He's tall and handsome. Okay, anyway. All right. So first thing I'd like to bring up is notifications, actually. Notifications on your phone. I think that they're getting too annoying. Like, when you get a flood of notifications, they don't fucking matter anymore.
Wait, why don't they matter?
Because if there's a flood of information, none of that information matters. Like, if you get a flood of email notifications, you're just like, fuck it, I'll just open that app later.
There should be like a cooldown where if you're getting a bunch of texts back to back, it shouldn't vibrate your phone every time.
I'm
it should
pretty sure it
vibrate
does.
like the first time.
No, it doesn't.
It vibrates every single time.
Yeah, so like, for instance, I've been getting a lot of...
Now it groups all the messages together, so it'll be like 10 unread messages, but you'll still get a vibration for all 10 of them.
Right. Yeah. And so I think we're in a period of of notification flooding, like where... There's so much that you just fucking clear it all, and then you wait until you open up the particular app on the phone when you're ready to watch or when you're ready to look at those notifications.
I think there's more a problem with how you're setting stuff up. Why do you have so many notifications coming in, first of all?
No, okay, so what I've done is actually turned a lot of that off, but
I mean, what notifications are you getting where they're like slamming? I mean, emails, I assume, is work stuff, and maybe it's important.
Dude.
Or maybe your stuff is too verbose that's alerting you or whatever.
Dude, I'm popular amongst the one-word per text community.
I've never been a part of a religious cult, but I have been a part of a group text message.
I mute every group text.
Especially when you're not intending to be part of that group, or they added you by accident, that shit drives me nuts.
You can mute that.
I mute them.
I mute it immediately. Any group message, mute it immediately.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I'll check in once a day.
I'll manually check. Yeah, I don't like getting all that stuff.
Nothing's that important that I need to check it every time it vibrates or pings or whatever.
I know. So I'm just saying what's kind of been on my nerves lately, which is notifications. What about you guys? Do you guys handle it any other way besides turning that shit off?
I think I just manage it so I don't get so many notifications.
I will say that for the watch,
I don't have friends.
Yeah, that's the biggest part of it.
That's an easy way to handle it.
That's the biggest part.
What?
Another. Okay, this is personal news, but hey, it's still news. I've passed my introduction to IT class in my degree program.
Hey, congrats, Jen.
So yeah, basically the shit that I've been studying for years, I finally took a test that says I know how to do this shit. At least a basic test. There's still a lot to go through. So hey, guys, you're talking to an accredited individual.
Along with that, and I'm not this person, but Moki, who has spoken with us a couple times, passed the first part of his Linux Plus.
Mm-hmm. I know. So I had to catch up with that guy.
Actually, all of our listeners probably know Moki because he did the music for our intro.
Yes, which, by the way, same with last week. The scary intro is no longer with us for the rest of the year.
Oh, I did that one, though. That was me.
Yeah.
It was BGM.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Not a big deal.
No big deal.
Just him. He did by himself.
All right.
I don't. I'm very humble. I don't want credit.
He is.
I don't want credit on this.
Yeah.
So
he's known for his humility, like throughout America and some parts of Canada.
Okay, so
hey, humble buddy.
I know. Now, I know that this is not. We say that we are not a political podcast. Okay.
Uh-oh.
And no. Hang on. I'm gonna try to preface this so that we stay in bounds. Okay. I'm gonna preface this so that we stay in bounds.
We need like a stinger with your voice where you're just saying like the thoughts and opinions don't reflect our employers, and we can just insert that right here.
The thoughts and opinions you're about to hear are not neceraily those of Greynoise Media.
Hey, there we go. He did it right there on the spot. No. Okay. So the problem though is that a lot of news, political news, is also cybersecurity news. And so when those stories kind of bleed together, it's really hard not to cover those types of stories when that's the story in cybersecurity, not just politics.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Which story do you want to attack first? I'd like to say, okay, we kind of mentioned the JFK papers 2 weeks ago, I believe. I don't think we mentioned them last week. So 2 weeks ago, I think, and you know what, actually, Mr. T85, here's a shout out to you. He gave me the name of a person that I need to follow on Twitter who's been curating the JFK files to like really organize them for people who don't know what the terminology is. And I really think we need somebody like that to navigate those papers. Because I think otherwise it would look like a jumbled mess to people who don't know.
I went through Reddit because Reddit has a huge thread saying what's the most interesting thing you found in the JFK files, and it's a pretty comprehensive list.
I think we might have mentioned that list the two episodes ago, but nothing specific, like no specific examples. So the thing that Mr. T85 brought up was that, hey, the files have been released 50 years later to people who won't understand them, and that's actually a brilliant move by the intelligence community. Any thoughts on that, guys?
No.
Wow.
I mean,
Docs, you are just full of conversation today.
They kind of waited until everybody died, and I think that was kind of the
problem, or
kind
the
of
thing,
idea.
right? Yeah.
Like, not a problem to them. Like, that was kind of, to them, that's a feature, not a bug.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
mean,
saying? Yeah.
there are, as soon as they were released, conspiracy theorists went through it. So, I mean, they already don't really understand most things.
And I feel like also, what are we looking for? What am I scouring the stuff for?
A lot of people just want to know if there was a second shooter. I think that's what most people were looking for.
And is there any evidence to that? I don't know. These are just some of the stories that are, again, part of the news that we like to follow. It is political. I guess we could cover this without having a political opinion.
I don't see how this relates to tech. It's papers about.
Well, okay, I'm also kind of lumping in the intelligence community about it because we're always talking about NSA or CIA or what they're up to. I think it's related. Let's take a break with the community mic.
Okay. I have a friend who was like a CIA analyst for years, and it was one of those things where you think it's James Bond, and the reality of intelligence analysis and what the kind of information they collect everything. They collect newspaper articles from the country they're studying. They collect all these other resources. They collect letters. If they have the authority, they can't do any domestic surveillance. So especially when it comes to domestic issues and things like that, there are limits to what they get. It's not going to be like extra pictures of Lee Harvey Oswald with Bigfoot or something like that. It's going to be, it's intelligence data when in its raw form, which is just newspapers and things, is boring. It's ridiculously boring. And it's just like, there's not like some little thing where it's like, boom, here's the thing that ties all of this together. But with conspiracy people,
it is.
They've proven that it doesn't matter what information you give them. They kind of process it through that lens of.
They process it how they want to process it.
Yeah, they'll find what they want, and if you give them all that information, they can pick out a pattern. Even if you give people enough information, they can almost create any pattern they want to, depending on what they're willing to cherry pick.
That's a good point. And I think at this, 50 years later, who gives a shit anymore, right?
That's what I'm
saying.
Well,
I linked this in chat. Somebody did find a file of not an interrogation, more like a questioning, a lighter interrogation. And the last line of the document says, is there any information, it's one person to another, is there any information involved with the assassination of President Kennedy, which in any way shows that Lee Harvey Oswald was in some way a CIA agent or an agent, and then it cuts off, and that's where the document ends.
What?
The rest was redacted.
Motherfucker!
Yeah. I'm gonna guess the answer to whatever the rest of the question is was no, though.
You think you're gonna say it was no?
Pretty sure it's a no.
Okay. But okay, you say your answer no, but now you have the conspiracy theorists who would then confirm.
This is the one that conspiracy theorists have been pointing to because it's like, why was the rest redacted? But redacting a document doesn't necessarily confirm anything.
Well, it doesn't confirm nor deny.
Awesome. One more community mic.
Community mic.
All right. Being an older guy, the biggest thing with the JFK assassination was it a government-sanctioned assassination? And that's what the majority of people want to know. And the biggest conspiracy theory is that it has to deal with the central bank controlling everything, and the fact that he
hashtag audit the Fed.
That you could not, so that banks could borrow from not the central bank. And shortly thereafter, he was killed, and then LB comes into office and redacts that executive order.
Yep. Hashtag audit the Fed.
The biggest question we've all had my whole life was it a government-sanctioned assassination?
And not to be rude, but going off that, I couldn't see how this relates to tech any less, and I couldn't care less in this environment about those files.
Well, last week we spent like 10 minutes talking about a movie.
Yeah, it was an amazing movie too. It was an amazing movie, but honestly, I don't even remember what movie it was.
It was Thor.
Was it Thor?
It was Thor.
No, we didn't talk about Thor last week.
Speaking of
he
Thor,
went to go see Thor.
Yeah, and I went to go see Thor. Oh, God damn it, no.
And we were
Hey, Thor was pretty good.
I wanted to know. I wanted to know if he was wearing
no.
that dumb like metal scale suit that he wears in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
No, I don't think so. Anyway.
so
No, dude, no. We're
no,
not going to
we're not
talk
talking
about
movies. I have a different topic.
All right, go ahead.
So a nice segue. I mentioned this earlier in the chat, like very briefly, but I was wondering what kind of laptops you guys use for your work and personal
Oh,
lives.
fuck. Actually, a person in the audience here showed me his
showed you
Ultrabook.
his?
No, he should. Yeah. Well, I showed him mine too.
As long as it was consensual, it's fine.
No, but
Well,
it was an Android. It was an Android tablet.
Did you ask him first?
You gotta ask him. That's what I'm saying.
No, it was really cool. It was flat. Now, the thing is, it looks cool, but I don't think I'll ever get used to that keyboard. It's a flat, not great haptic feedback keyboard. I don't like it.
Well, anyway, 'cause I'm in the market for a new laptop, and I can't decide what the best configuration would be or what people prefer as far as like what their jobs are, what they do, and what they like to use as far as portability, battery life, and yada yada yada. So I wanted to crowdsource some answers as far as what people use.
Well, you were looking at the Ultrabook, right?
I was looking at the Razer Blade Stealth, which being made by Razer, you think it's a gaming laptop, but it's actually not. It's actually very similar to the MacBook, but a Windows-based PC, and it's very nice. It's not as expensive as a Mac, and it's a very nice form factor. It looks almost exactly like the Mac, but black. And I know BGM uses this Chromebook for mostly non-work stuff. And
I don't have a laptop otherwise.
Yeah, and I know you like
Same.
the Chromebook, and I know Chin has his Monster.
I know this is a big-ass laptop, and it's actually one of those laptops that can fold back and become a tablet.
And
but
I hate that.
You can't use it as a fucking
I hate
tablet.
that.
This thing is heavy as fuck.
You know what? I hate touchscreens, and I hate laptops that are multi-purpose where they fold into like they do like the tint mode and the tablet mode. I don't want any of that. I just want a straight laptop that
now-
I can type on.
He's
The
boring.
flip side of that, though,
I am boring.
What do you think about the ones where the screen will actually cover the keyboard?
No,
What do
I
you
hate
mean?
that too.
You hate that too?
I don't
what do you
want.
mean
I don't
cover
want.
the
I don't want
screen?
my laptop to be a fucking transformer.
So my wife's got
I want
one-
it to open up and tip
Where
to tap.
it's got hinges that come up like halfway up the screen, Chin. It's got hinges that come up halfway up the screen, and then the whole screen will fold down over.
Oh, okay. I think
Tilt
I've seen
back.
something like that.
Yeah.
It's too many.
freaking awesome.
Okay, the biggest thing is too many points of failure. What happens if I get a defect, my laptop's broken, and the whole batch is bad? Then I keep getting.
Well, then I,
I don't
guess
like
you're
that.
effed in the A. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and with my luck, that'll happen.
No, not
and
like
I hate
that.
it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine this on a swivel, right?
Oh, I
Swivels
see what you're
back,
saying.
and then
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't want any of that multi-configuration stuff. I just want a plain laptop that opens up and I can type on it. That's it. That's the extent of what I want. Besides, other stuff like power and battery life. And
What about a really
all those
plain
things.
laptop that you can't type on?
that I can't type on? Even better.
Can't type.
Boss, I can't do any work because I can't type. Done. I love it. that would be perfect. Really.
Well, are you leaning towards any decision for your
Well, I'm
device?
I'm really leaning towards the Razer Blade Stealth. Actually, it's a Mac. It's a very MacBook like form factor, but not MacBook price. It's a Windows PC, and it's very nice actually. That's the one I'm leaning towards most heavily. But I don't know what you guys prefer. I know you have all your stuff, but I don't know what you like, or what anybody else likes for that matter.
I like Chromebooks for at home, PC for at work.
I had an old Asus ROG laptop years and years and years ago, like really old, and I
Yeah.
turned it into a Minecraft server. And then I don't know what happened to it. I must have left it somewhere.
So somebody in the live stream, live stream said, "How about a laptop without a back door?" I think that's pointed at me,
No, oh,
but I'm not sure.
It must be because I don't think Razers are known for being compromised, as far as I know. But I don't know.
no, but Chen had that Lenovo.
I
that
had-
has
He did
built-in-
have that
I
that
still
has-
have a
yeah.
Lenovo laptop actually, but I don't
Built-in
have Windows
stuff.
on it anymore. I put Kali on it.
Community mic.
How about a laptop that isn't already obsolete the day you buy it?
Well, see, that's the thing because
But I'm not buying my laptop from Target or Walmart. Those are obsolete laptops once you buy them.
and any laptop I buy, I'm probably gonna either dual boot, or completely wipe.
Wait,
and
you
put
want to try it again? You got it wrong twice.
I said dual boot. Dual
Hey.
boot.
Say it 5
There
times
you go.
fast.
Dual boot.
Any laptop. I've been hanging around Fox too much. Any laptop I get, I'm going to
Dual boot.
very likely dual boot it to be either
She's so pissed.
a Linux and Windows configuration or just straight Linux. Because everything I do is mostly terminal based, so I don't need a powerhouse. I'm not editing any videos. I'm not doing anything very power hungry. It's all mostly terminal based, and it's mostly like web browsing and terminal based
Wait,
things.
okay,
Yeah.
you might have mentioned this, but if that's the case, why don't you just get a Chromebook?
I could get a Chromebook also. That's definitely up there, but
Chromebooks are nice.
I don't. That's
Like
why
these guys have Chromebooks.
That's why
Both of them.
That's why I'm sourcing I'm sourcing this to see what you guys you like.
Well,
But
2 out of 4 podcast hosts say get a get a Chromebook. At least by example, they're leading by example.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
You
Christmas
can
season.
put
Christmas
you can
season.
put Ubuntu on a Chromebook.
Yeah. What is it? Chromeboot. Right?
Crouton.
Crouton.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
one.
They
That
call it
one.
Crouton.
Yeah.
Crouton is the thing that lets you boot into Ubuntu.
Yeah.
That's
I'm,
kind of a cool name for it.
I'm looking for a laptop. Christmas season coming up, as well as birthdays and stuff. So if you guys feeling generous,
I'll get my wife
I'll
something.
give you like $10 in Steam credit.
I don't celebrate your birthday religion.
we all should celebrate my birthday.
No, are you Jehovah Witness for him? Like you're
Yes, please.
all right. All right. So, do you guys have any other stories?
Any
Oh,
other
I got
stories?
plenty.
Well, I mean, like we
Yeah,
went to
yeah,
a
yeah.
consumer review, or
Sure,
Oh
sure.
yeah. Before we switch real quick, there is a new Pixel book out. Akeen just mentioned this in the live stream channel. There is a Pixel book out, but I don't think it's worth. I don't know if it's worth $1,000.
I don't understand that.
It starts at $1,000, and it is a very nice device, but I don't know if it's worth.
What's the difference
that.
between that and the Pixel 2 XL? They're the same price.
No, it's a Chromebook.
It's a Chromebook
It's a Pixel book. It's a Chromebook.
Oh, okay.
It's a Pixel laptop.
for $1,000.
I don't think the whatever. I don't
I
think
wouldn't
it's
pay.
$1,000.
Does it have phone capabilities too?
So I paid $250 for this Chromebook.
Yeah.
That's about the price point I would pay for a
Yeah.
Chromebook at most.
Yeah.
Same.
Yes, Pixelbook's not even really. I mean, it's a very nice device, but it's not even on my radar as far as something I'm gonna want.
I just don't see the use case why I need to spend $1,000 to have that kind of processing power on a Chromebook.
Absolutely, because I mean, at that I could get a semi nice gaming laptop or something.
Well,
at that price.
you can put Ubuntu on it and then run Linux games. I suppose.
but I could put
if you really
Ubuntu
wanted to do it that
on a
way.
5-year-old
But you wouldn't
laptop.
put that on. Yeah, I was gonna say you could. You don't want to do that on a $1,000
but if
The way,
device.
the way you said that, I thought you were going to say you wouldn't download a car, and I was like, oh, come on.
no, I'm
would.
saying, like, you wouldn't spend $1,000 or on a device and just put Linux on it. I mean, Doctor brings up a good point: is you could put Linux on a 5-year-old device and it would run pretty sweet.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
but to BGM's point though, if you're playing games on it, then yeah,
But you
maybe more hardware would be good.
But you can't even play games on a Pixelbook.
Okay,
on
so
Linux.
you could do it two ways. You can put Linux on it and then play Linux games, or you can just use the native Chrome and download games from the Play Store.
Oh, that's true too.
You can run Android.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to play games from the Chrome store on a $1,000 laptop, right?
Yeah, I mean,
It's-
just get a phone.
Just get a phone.
Just
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
phone.
I'd
They're
much-
optimized for a phone anyway.
Absolutely. So Pixelbook is not even an option for me, really.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be either a solid Windows laptop or a
Well,
Chromebook.
Google is going full Apple with
Yeah.
their pricing.
I know, and that's kind of disappointing to me, man. Like,
Yeah.
In the
I know. Okay, go ahead.
no, I was just saying.
Does
Okay.
the Pixelbook have a headphone jack?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know we've covered it before, but like, you can't, as a company, make fun of your competitor for not having a headphone jack and then follow suit. We've mentioned this, but that's still one of the biggest disappointments. I think.
I mean, you
Yeah,
got
that's
to
kinda
do do whatever you can to get an advantage when you're a new hardware manufacturer. And the Pixel was their first Google built smartphone, so they've got to do whatever they can to get an advantage. So I understand. I'm not mad at them for making fun of Apple because they had a headphone jack and then they didn't or whatever. That you have to take what advantages you can get. But I don't like their pricing scheme. But again, as I mentioned like 6 months ago, probably I understand why they do it. It's perceived worth. If we tell you this is $1,000, you're going to think it's worth $1,000, whether it actually is or isn't. That's what people are going to pay for it.
Yeah,
Doxy, my friendship is worth $1,000 more. like $20,000.
So
You
not
Oh,
stutter.
only
you rolled a
You-
1 on that
you-
one.
you stutter.
yeah, yeah.
You rolled a 1.
I know,
on
I
that
can't
one.
deceive.
Roll for charisma.
See, like Google already knows though that all these little tiny phone manufacturers are gonna make crappy Android phones, based on whatever OS was out 2 years ago.
They can put whatever price they want on there.
There's still
Yeah, so basically they can say, look, ours are the flagship. If you want a cheap, a more affordable experience, then there's that out there. But we're giving you the good shit.
I don't like how they quote the quality of the screen being the highest point of pricing, because I mean you can get like a 55-inch TV for half the price, and it's like 4K OLED.
Also, somebody in the live stream says, it was built by LG.
It was built
The
by LG.
Pixel 2 XL was not the regular Pixel 2.
No, well, the Pixel, it was built by LG, but it was built by Google specifications. Like before, the Nexus devices were built from LG phones or HTC phones or whatever, and then just overlaid with Android on top. But these were devices built for Google. That's why they have the Pixel Core chip in it and stuff like that.
But
were built-
they also have the screen burn-in issue on my LG V30.
Well, I mean, they have
using
to
the
stay-
same screen as the Pixel 2 doesn't have the.
because Google doesn't manufacture their own screens. They poured $1 billion approximately into LG to make screens for them. They have to get their screens from somewhere, and Samsung is already making screens for Apple.
What I'm saying is, you're saying that it's built to Google specifications.
Yeah.
But the Pixel 2 XL has the burn-in issue, and I haven't experienced it on my V30 yet, even though they're the same screen. So is that like
but
Google
that's-
interfering with the Pixel 2?
No, that's
causing
that's
them?
LG display. That's LG quality control issues because it is present on a lot of V30s actually, and not. I mean, but also this is just the minority is the loudest.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you
that's
hear
true.
a lot of people saying, "Oh, I have this issue."
Ooh, that's a good point.
But
I
in
mean,
but in
that's-
all the testing, because I've watched a lot of videos on it, because I'm very up in the air as far as what I want, and a lot of videos are saying that it's very overstated, and there is some burn-in, but that's going to be on any OLED screen, and it's not like I have this crazy burn-in where I can't see anything else on my screen. It's maybe a minuscule amount. So but apart from that, it is a Google-built device, but they have to get their parts from somewhere. They're not a manufacturing plant.
Okay, Community Mike.
It's just, and I don't know if Google is actually trying to do this, but there is a strategy sometimes when like things are really overpriced that it's the idea that you make your high flagship model not with the intention of you want to sell a lot of those, but by putting that price up there, it kind of lets you put your middle line in kind of in the middle. Like if you put your flagship at 1,000, you can put the middle at 500, and that seems more reasonable because people are tagging it. So they might not. It's like why they have lobster thermidor on a restaurant menu. They're not really expecting anybody
Yeah.
to really walk in and pay $40, but it makes a $20 steak look a lot better.
Actually, this brings in a psychological, we could call it social engineering perspective, is you give two options and they'll go with, an outrageous option, and then you have like a not so outrageous option, and that's the actual target that you want to hit. And
Right.
so, with the two options, that's what you give. In fact, okay, this is a little bit of a sidestep, but it's kind of related to what was said on the community mic. I went to Firehouse probably about a year ago, at least when I remember this. And like the girl who was at the cash register was really good at her job because she's like, okay, would you like a medium or a large? She didn't even give me the option for the small, or like a small drink.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went with the medium, not even thinking about, the
Yeah, sometimes.
Size. I mean, like-
Sometimes I just hand stuff to people, and they always take it. Like I won't even mention anything. I'll just like give them something, and they'll take it and hold it for me.
right.
Also,
So it's an interesting tactic in marketing.
Zenify did this to me when I was on the phone. And he made me use my own fingerprint reader. He said, "Here, touch this," and I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, but that's not a deception in.
Well,
I
knew
that's
something
not a-
was weird because why would Zenify be asking me to touch stuff?
But that's not a deception
But-
in choice.
But when people ask me to touch stuff, I don't ask questions. I
Yeah,
just
but that's
do
a
it.
different type of deception. Wait,
Now wait a minute. That's
In
Is
light of the recent coverage in Hollywood,
holy shit.
I just
Okay.
want-
I mean, as long as there's consent.
They asked me. I'm not okay. Next, moving on.
Okay,
And
first
if
of
you
all,
said yes, that no.
hold on, first of all, I was talking about marketing tactics. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
Well, I mean, it's still social engineering. She socially engineered you, and I very, very heavily quote this, like sarcasm. But
No, okay, I'm
she
not
socially
gonna-
engineered you into buying.
I'm not going
a
to call that out
larger size.
as saying social engineering, but I will say it's a sales tactic.
Or sales
Well, I mean,
tactics
that's
or
what
social
social
engineering.
engineering
is.
That's all it
Okay,
is.
well then why are you using air quotes if you're going to put them under the same bridge?
because it is the same thing, but it's not the same.
That's what I'm
thing.
trying to say. I'm not going to call it social engineering. I'll call it a sales tactic. But if you're going to say it's the same thing, why aren't we putting it under the same definition?
Sales, social, because I mean there are levels to it. Obviously,
I know that there are
It is
levels.
social engineering, but there are levels to it, and it also depends. It also it's what you're trying
Hey,
to do.
dude, I was the one who was not calling it social engineering.
I mean, but it is. It is
It
social
is
engineering.
Social engineering.
Okay, so I could say that it's
Falls
social.
under that umbrella.
Yeah, you could say that. Say it.
Okay, well, I'm not going to use air quotes then and say that it was a social engineering / sales tactic.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm going to use air quotes.
Okay.
Yeah, just randomly.
I got it.
Right. Okay. So, and I don't know where we got into the Hollywood thing, but that was there somewhere in
No,
that.
but I think it's approximately the same thing. You take advantage.
No, but
of,
what Zenify did was he deceived you into unlocking your phone. I'm talking about being deceived in making a decision.
and they both take advantage of you not paying attention to what you're doing, because in that moment you're not paying attention to the cup sizes. You're focused on what's on your phone or whatever, your food that's coming or whatever. I was focused on whatever phone call I was on or whatever, not to what he was asking me to do.
I mean, I don't know about Doxy, but I always pay attention to cup size. What were you going to say?
Hell!
All right. So what I was going to say is this is kind of turning into a tech podcast. This might be a good idea to
Yeah.
refresh our InfoSec listeners on what social engineering actually is, because you didn't
That's a
seem to think that it was classified as social engineering.
Okay, so when I say that I didn't think it was classified as social engineering, first of all, okay, let's put the definition down. Okay, social engineering is basically a tactic or technique that you use. It's a broad tactic and
wait.
technique.
Let's get the dictionary definition.
Okay, go ahead.
Psychological manipulation of people into performing actions or divulging confidential information.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. Of course, obviously, it's in the dictionary, the Google dictionary. Now, what you were doing though,
Hail corporate.
what you were doing was you were giving air quotes saying social engineering tactic. I wasn't actually calling it a social engineering tactic. I was calling it a sales tactic, which could be lumped under the umbrella of social engineering.
Absolutely.
I mean,
think
all
about it.
All I'm
marketing.
saying is you were the one using the air quotes.
I am, because like I said, there are levels to it, so that's on the lower end of the scale.
I
versus-
completely agree with you.
versus-
It's off-putting when you were like air quotes.
because it's I don't want people to get the wrong idea that just because I dupe you into buying a medium-sized drink, it's the same thing as someone who dupes you into giving access to their facility. They're not on the same level, but they are technically the same thing. You get it?
Well, all marketing.
He was
is
asking you, do
essentially-
you get it?
all
No, I
marketing-
seriously.
I get it.
'Cause,
I
I mean,
get it.
no,
I
seriously.
get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. All marketing is social engineering, because
Right.
they're trying to get you to do something you wouldn't normally
Yeah,
normally do, or
I would agree with that.
trying to get you to do something that you're not realizing that you're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
They take advantage of you being distracted, or they distract you to take advantage of you. Whatever. One of those things. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you were saying distraction, and sometimes social engineering is what the hell? No, sorry, I'm carry on. I'm not even drunk.
Wow.
Okay,
Sometimes
so
social engiering is just throwing in a complete non sequitur in order to make the conversation go a different direction. Bananas.
okay,
See?
I don't know.
Like
he's-
that.
I don't know.
Okay, all I'm saying is I think all I'm saying is that I don't think we were disagreeing with what you were saying. It was just weird to me when you were using air quotes to describe something that, yes, we can agree is a facet of social engineering.
I
Yeah.
want
And that's
to
actually
know.
a
I want to
really
know.
good-
Hold on, community Mike. I want to know if there's something we can all agree on.
By the way, we
I-
mute that until we actually open it up.
Yeah.
Really?
I want to know. I want to know if there's
Speaking
something
at me
we
right
can
now.
all agree on, and that's the fact that people listening to the show didn't even see air quotes at all.
Oh, they saw
Oh
it.
shit! No, they heard it in his voice. They heard air quotes in his voice.
They heard the contempt I had.
Okay,
for
now
the
let's open
word
up the
social
community
engineering.
mic.
Yeah, I just had one question. What's the next topic?
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
do you guys have any other topics?
Wait, are we done with social engineering? Because I'm very interested in this.
Well, I tried to get it into social engineering, but then it went back on to air quotes.
No, I'm very interested in social engineering, but I mean, I don't want people to get the wrong idea about what it is and what it isn't.
So wait, what about the social engineering are you interested?
All of it, all of it.
Just all of it?
I mean, I see what he's saying. I mean, in every single sales situation, there's someone in every conversation. Really, there's someone who gets sold, and there's someone who does the selling.
Every grifter is a social engineer.
Well, not only that. Even right now, right here, I'm trying to sell the point of what I just said. Not to get self-referential there, but I'm selling the point that in every conversation, someone sells and someone buys, and it's still a kind of social engineering. Even a conversation is social engineering. It's just levels of degree.
It's just
Air quotes aside.
yeah. Maybe my air quotes were a little harsh, but that's all.
I know. I think maybe I might have taken offense to the air quotes. I'm sorry, Doc.
I mean, but I just want people to understand the difference between social engineering.
He's doing it again. He's doing it again.
Social engineering someone into buying a larger cup at a fast food place, and someone social engineering their way into your secure facility.
But did you social engineer them or social engineer them?
That's what I'm saying. It's
Oh my God.
different. They're different.
I'm playing.
He's trolling now.
I'm
Right.
trolling.
He's starting
I
to troll.
totally am
I'm
trolling.
over it.
Yes.
Okay. Community Mike.
All right. The biggest example I can think of of social engineering would have been the recent war in Afghanistan and Iraq. It was completely engineered for the profit, and that was it.
Nah, that's getting too political. I have no opinion on that.
I see his point.
I got plenty, but I'm not going to say.
Yeah, I mean, I see your point, Community Mike, but I'm gonna have to agree with
That's not this
Doxy.
kind of
That's,
show.
I mean, whether you want to call it that or not, that's.
I don't care.
He was on some sort of a turntable there. Okay, let's open up Community Mike
I
again.
understand it's a little political, but that was probably one of the greatest examples of social engineering of modern history.
No,
that
I would
can
actually say
understand.
the greatest example of social engineering. Actually, I just lost my example.
More
Jesus.
manufacturing consent, really. I mean,
All right.
I would. I think that point is debatable.
I mean,
I see where you're coming from, but I think it's
You
debatable.
can quote hundreds of different types of phishing attacks that were devastating, and those are all social engineering, all phishing.
Yeah. Okay.
So, as far as topic, if we were to go back a second to perceived worth, when we're talking about the Pixels and the iPhones and stuff, I think we mentioned this, but I want to talk about it again. The Essential phone has gone down in price $200, so now it's $500 base price, and it makes it
I
a
thought
much
that
more.
happened a while ago.
Yeah, this is like 2 weeks ago maybe, but I don't think we actually talked about it.
Somebody get Rocket Fuel on the phone. Did they fix their software with the camera yet?
No, the software with the camera is still bad, but you can sideload the Google camera software, which makes it leagues better. And at $500, it's a much more attractive device than it is at $799 or $699 when it first came out. And $500 is a much more manageable price for a phone that's not quite there, And the perceived worth, I would buy an Essential phone for $500. I just wanted to go back to that real quick, but that's all.
I would buy a phone for $500.
Yeah.
In fact, my V20 was about $580.
And it's aside from the camera not working magnificently, it's a beautiful device. It works really well. It gets really fast software updates. It's already been patched for the crack exploit and other things. It's a very solid device in every other aspect, just not the camera. But that's fixed with the Google camera.
I will say that when Rocket Fuel brought it in, he let me hold it, and
It's a sexy-
It's
it's a
a
sexy-
it's a nice device.
It's a sexy ass phone.
It is. It's a black slab.
Okay.
Nope.
What?
No comment.
I've already
Nope.
called it that in other shows.
I feel like you said that since the first show of the podcast.
No, because it wasn't out at the first show of the podcast.
No, you said black slab before. Phones have been out since the podcast.
What I want to know is, did they use air quotes?
I didn't use air quotes when I was
okay.
Anyway, all right. Any other topics? No, because we could go on to the lightning round and spend some time there because it usually takes 20 minutes to go through a lightning
Let's
round.
spend
do
some
it.
time in the lightning round.
Let's
go to
do
the
it. Let's
lightning
do it. Let's
zone.
do an extended lightning round.
This is a crazy
all right.
show. Let's do it.
Yeah, go ahead, BGM. Oh, hey, we got some air quotes in the live stream now.
Boom.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I put those in there.
All right.
Appreciate it.
So who's doing the
All right,
lightning
BGM's
round?
doing lightning round today.
Surprisingly, it's BGM's turn to do the lightning round. So for those who don't know, the lightning round is where we do a tweet's worth, which is now 280 characters, right? Mm-hmm. 280 characters worth of commenting on stuff that's going on in InfoSec news. The goal is to get you guys to read the articles. We're just going to comment on what we think of the articles based on their headlines, and we use the source infosecurity-magazine.com/news. So starting with the top, which way are we going?
I'll go first.
No, somebody adjacent to me.
Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Damn it.
He just said no to you.
Damn it.
He's like straight no.
Who was that? Doxy? No.
All right, go ahead.
Those air quotes were intimidating. All right, so the first article, Google Research finds stolen credentials for sale. Usernames and passwords that were stolen through attacks and breaches found on dark markets.
Okay, so it's the same thing. I mean, this isn't.
Notice these aren't Google accounts. It just says Google Research finds stolen credentials. And it doesn't specify whether or not it's Google accounts.
So Google Research is researching old problems.
They're finding. It's not my turn. I'm sorry.
I mean,
No, I mean that's my question. So it is your turn.
What was your question?
Okay, I'm saying it in a question now. Google Research is researching an old problem?
Well, I don't think it's a little problem. I think they're finding exploited accounts on the dark web. Is what it sounds like, right?
Okay, it's still an old problem.
Why is that no problem? What if they're current accounts?
Whether they're current accounts or not, it's still a problem that we've been plagued with for a long time now.
Oh,
It's not-
yeah. But yes. Yes.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck. So
Well,
you agree with me
no.
or not?
I agree with you, but I mean, it depends on what they're doing with this. Like, are they trying to find ways to get this off of the dark web? Are they trying to mitigate this happening? Or are they just saying, oh shit, we found a bunch of accounts, let's move on? I mean, it depends on what the context of them finding these accounts are, is what I'm concerned about.
Okay, actually, can I say something before I...
Please.
Sorry.
You passed your turn.
Well, whatever. Okay, I thought this was the extended lightning round.
My bad.
Okay, all I'm asking is...
I believe it's called the ball lightning round because
the
it moves a
ball
lot
of lightning.
slower.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so, but you don't have to go to the dark web to find these treasure troves of compromised accounts, do you?
No, you can go to bugmenot.com.
Oh, really?
It's a credential share website.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that. I don't know if he's.
No,
trolling.
it's
a thing.
it's a real thing.
Okay, I didn't know that.
It's a real thing.
All right, Satchel, now it's your turn.
So yeah, mine was going to be. Fortunately, all of the data was on Bing, so no one saw it.
Oh,
Don't distract Chin during the show. He's not gonna be able to focus.
no, I see it. It says "bug me not." It's a thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Find and share.
Next
Oh,
topic.
I know. Yeah, okay. I
All right,
remember that.
next.
Next topic. Europol boss warns of 4,000 ransomware attacks per day. Director Rob Wainwright warns of threat to critical infrastructure.
Wait, is this 4,000 attacks against one site or domain, or like?
I don't know, man. I just read the headlines.
Wait, can you read the headline one more time?
Yes. Europol boss warns of 4,000 ransomware attacks per day. Director Rob Wainwright warns of threat to critical infrastructure.
Okay. Are you done, Chin?
Well, yeah, I just okay.
Oh, no, I was just asking.
Oh, by the way, ransomware, social engineering.
But
I
is
would
it-
classify it as
BJ,
social
what is
Social
for our more
engineering.
casual listeners? What is ransomware?
Ransomware is a bug that threatens to do something harmful, like delete files or bring down infrastructure, unless the user pays to get it removed. I would consider that social engineering, because you could do ransomware. You could just throw up a pop-up that says ransomware and not have it actually do anything if they don't pay.
Well, it's kind of
Kind of like
piggybacking off of
like
phishing then.
that book that you always bring up, mind manipulation.
Yeah.
It's like that example in there where the guy sends out threatening letters to all the politicians saying, "I know what you did, and if you don't want me to find out, pay me money." Like he blackmails them all without actually
he does-
knowing the info, and he
Yeah.
gets a lot of money back.
Actually, so for those who don't know, the tactic that BGM just talked about, it was some in the book. It was a Japanese example, like an example in Japan, and he sent out these letters like all over the place, and he would get 3 out of 5 back with, "Oh, sorry, here's money," so that they wouldn't get revealed whatever he didn't know, right? So that's an
And
interesting tactic.
that's social engineering, and that's why I would classify ransomware also in social engineering.
I could see how ransomware is piggybacking off of, like, let's say a phishing attack, right? Like, so I guess.
Generally, that's also how they're propagated through phishing emails.
Right. Okay. I can see that. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, good.
Satchel, do you have anything?
I mean, yeah, 4,000 ransomware attacks per day. I'm not actually surprised. I mean, turns out that computers let you do things quicker. Huh.
Oh, also,
They do?
I didn't.
I'm using that
bitch.
wrong.
I didn't realize I didn't say
I'm
anything.
still on the abacus.
Yeah. he passed his turn.
But again, it's the context. Like, does this mean that they're doing something to combat it, or are they just saying, "Shit, we're getting a lot of attacks"?
I
That's
think
gonna-
he's
that's
saying-
gonna
I think-
suck
He's
when
saying
it-
shit.
Pretty sure. I
He's
think
like,
it's
"This is
just.
shit."
I think it's just shit. We're getting a lot of attacks.
That's gonna hurt when it happens for like when it compromises or whatever. But I don't. Again, it's the context that I'm.
He's like, dictate this. Shit, we're getting a lot of attacks. Now send it to the news.
In the words of
I'll give Info Security Magazine the scoop.
in the words of the captain of the Titanic, where the fuck did all this water come from?
So he's watching these attacks just fly by his screen. He's like, well,
He's like, fuck all these attacks,
that's a thing.
man.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's like, shit.
Man, my job is hard, man.
All right, now we usually don't open up the community mic for the lightning round, but hey, it's today.
This
It's
show,
a special show.
Community
You
mic.
guys already did it, man. Don't worry.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like, shit.
Yeah, we did.
All right, let's go to the
Are
next.
these all the text? Shit.
Yeah, damn, that's a lot of text.
How many lines of attacks? 4,000. That's a lot of lines of attacks.
Oh, those attacks.
Are we doing anything about this? Shit.
We better find some security people.
The chain of command. Do something.
Who's supposed to do something about this?
Do something.
Me? Oh shit.
All right, so
All right.
I know you guys are going to have opinions on this one.
Oh, boy.
Texas church shooting. More calls for encryption backdoors. Deputy Attorney General becomes the latest to ask for the impossible.
That's actually what I wanted to talk about today. I completely forgot. Thank you. Okay. I know that there are a lot of people in authority and lawmakers who say that we don't want bad encryption. We just want reasonable encryption, right? We've heard that in the past couple of weeks, right?
Yep.
You guys have heard that?
Yep.
Okay, look. Having any backdoor of any kind in encryption is what is going to weaken it. Okay? It's not an issue of we can do this and then, it'll be safe. It's all or nothing. Either it can't be backdoored or it can, and it's significantly weaker, and it's something that is unusable. Okay, you can't have it both ways. That's how I
This
feel.
is not Burger King. And we tried to start something on Twitter a couple weeks ago, but nobody liked it. But strong is responsible, and that's across the board. Strong encryption is responsible encryption, and it should be nothing less. If it's
weak encryption isn't even encryption.
weak encryption is not encryption. Weak encryption is horseshit.
There's a reason why we don't use DES anymore. There's a reason why we don't use what was broken recently, SHA-1?
What is it? RS.
SHA-1, right?
SHA-1 was broken.
Yeah, SHA-1 was broken.
I'm saying like
the RC. What is it? RC4.
RC4. Okay, so
Yeah.
when it's broken, we stop using it. There's a reason for that. Community mic.
So far, any information gleaned off of phones of people who've done attacks here or in Europe wouldn't have prevented the knowledge gained, wouldn't have prevented the attack. No encryption has been a filter or any means of preventing the government from detecting who these people were. In many cases, they were in the government's possession. They actually were tracking these people, talking to these people prior to almost every attack that's happened. That was the one in New York. That was the one in Texas. That was the series of ones in France and Germany. All these people are known. The government knows who they are. And even then, the encryption that they're asking to have weakened would not have assisted them in any way.
And that's a very good point.
And you know what they're going to do? They're going to try to pass these laws to get encryption weakened, and they're going to exempt themselves from the law so that they can still have their encryption.
But how do you exempt yourself from a law that...
I mean, you shouldn't be able to.
No, what I'm saying is, like, if you weaken a protocol, like an encryption as a protocol, like let's say all of SSL is...
I don't think they're asking to weaken the actual protocol. I think what they're asking is to use weaker protocols.
Yes.
Right, but okay, so like what the public uses...
The public
weakened
uses
protocols,
SHA-1 and they get SHA-256.
and they get SHA...
But for example, banks will still have the strongest encryption.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Maybe not in banks, yes. And yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
I think he said yes in this, in one form or fashion. He said yes in this podcast, probably more than.
He's like channeling Abed today.
I'm super agreeable tonight.
Okay, community mic.
So, I mean, a lot of people have been analyzing this and have said that if you get a quantum computer at about 22 qubits, you can break most standard RSA encryption.
I've actually been watching quantum computer news because as soon as it gets to a certain point, then Bitcoin is going to crash severely.
Well, on the new front, just this week, IBM announced that they have a publicly available 20 qubit computer.
Oh boy!
Is there,
So
what?
yeah. So if you look at that now, you figure most government research labs and the private thing are probably at least two or three generations ahead of what's publicly available via IBM and D-Wave.
This. Sorry, not to interrupt. This IBM computer is something I can like buy. Is it like outrageously priced?
No, it's not something. They're not offering it for sale.
Is
They're
it kinda
offering
like
it as
a-
like the old model of like you can do problems. How do you encode problems? And we'll rent you time on our server to solve certain
So
computations.
I will get off Amazon.
So it's like a supercomputer, but they also offer a lot of. If you're interested and you know Python, they're
I
showing
do
a
know
lot
Python.
of tutorials that are pretty well. Like go to IBM Q in their Bluemix site, and they have a whole beginner's tutorial on how to start learning how to do quantum computing problems that you can submit.
son.
So there's a lot of interesting stuff there. But the point I'm trying to make is that if IBM is publicly availing a 20-qubit computer, I guarantee you Los Alamos and probably a couple Japanese labs and a couple Russian labs have 24, 26, which means RSA is basically wide open to any of them who want to attack it.
Absolutely.
Satchel, I think it is now your turn.
What were we talking about? No, I'm just envisioning the Russian supercomputer running on like diesel and like being like 3 stories tall.
No, not diesel. Vodka.
What's that?
Vodka.
And vodka.
Vodka and
vodka.
pickle.
Vodka and pickle.
Yeah, so pickle's like the lime to tequila.
Pickle.
Ooh, you know what?
Yes.
Never mind. That's not about
Cool.
the show. Never
All
mind.
right.
All right.
Next.
Next. All right, I skipped a little bit
Okay.
to some actual news articles. Windows Movie Maker scam uses SEO to go global. A fake version of the discontinued software continuously prompts the user to upgrade to the full version for $29.95.
Damn.
This isn't VLC.
Harsh, bro.
I don't use Windows Media Player, so if it ever asks me to
Windows Movie Maker.
Movie Maker. Well, yeah, I don't make
Yeah,
movies with that
that's-
either.
Well, no.
I use Adobe Premiere.
People haven't for like what 10 years?
Absolutely. Since
XP, right?
yeah, at least.
Yeah.
I used
at
it to make
least.
my Zappos resume 7 years ago.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wait, but are there any people out there that like blindly upgrade though? Like
I'm absolutely
they-
positive.
Yeah, right. They don't use
Yeah,
the movie
dude,
maker.
I mean,
Of
there are
course there are.
absolutely
I know.
people.
I
Of
know.
course
my bad.
there are.
No, but like they don't
That's-
use movie maker, but they say, "Oh shit,
That's
something has
why
to be
people
updated."
do this, because people click links blindly.
Especially if you have like kids that are using the computers, and the kid's like, "Mom, I gotta upgrade this so I can do more editing or what the fuck ever." And then they're like, "Okay, Johnny, here's upgrade," and then boom, $30.
And that's one of the advantages of stealing little, is because you can do it a lot of
Yeah,
times.
a little bit. If you only do a little bit,
Yeah.
nobody's gonna notice.
Right.
If you're like upgrade for $1 million, okay, fuck you.
Yeah.
But $30, it's
It's
expensive.
$30. I guess I just need to upgrade the thing. It's $30. Whatever.
Yeah, you know, it's editing software. It must be expensive. It's like Photoshop, right?
I wonder if you actually do upgrade and purchase it, if it still prompts you to upgrade again.
Oh, that'd be the worst. Now that would be
All right.
worse
Next.
somehow.
Next, millions of Android apps at risk from eavesdropper vulnerability. It exposes hundreds of millions of call records, minutes of calls, minutes of call audio recordings, and SMS and MMS texts.
Damn.
I wonder how they're researching that. Like, are they sniffing network traffic on?
If it's millions of apps, my guess is it's an issue with the SDK libraries.
My prediction is
Okay.
80% of them are flashlights.
That's not even a joke. You're probably accurate.
I'm just saying.
Is this is a new thing that's happening? Like this is currently ongoing, right? Yes, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
'cause
Article was dated 9 November, so that was yesterday.
I wonder how this is how it's doing with the Google Play Protect in the Play Store, because Google does have a lot of malware apps and shit in there. Their Play Store is it's like the Wild West. In
They
there.
have
It's
no
very unregulated.
They really have no
Standards.
They don't say no to people.
They're
If
like-
they submit an app to the
Yeah,
App
I
Store.
will say I'm
Do you remember that
I'm
time?
happier with Apple's business model as far as app.
Do you remember that time? Oh no! Wait, this
handling.
was the iTunes App Store, the Apple App Store. But do you remember that Apple app that made it to the store? It was called Send Me to Heaven, and it was a game where you try to
Yes.
throw your phone as high as you
Yep.
possibly can. The whole thing. Yeah, the whole goal was to break iPhones.
You don't remember that?
I never heard of that. Wait, is that a thing?
Yeah,
not
it had-
they removed it, but
Like,
yeah,
like
No, but
it
what?
would it would determine how high it went and put people on leaderboards.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Social
Yeah.
engineering.
Yes.
Social engineering.
About the fast charging in the microwave, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay, that I've heard.
That's also
That I've heard.
That's also an iPhone only.
I've definitely heard that one, but holy shit, I did not hear about the.
Yeah, that was
Send Me to
pretty big
Heaven.
for
Yeah.
like a year ago,
Yeah.
maybe.
I must not have been onto the internet those
Do
days.
you even internet chip?
Do you remember
not
the,
usually?
You remember the I Am Rich app?
No.
The only $999, and all it did was display a gem or something like that on your screen. Yeah, it's like a diamond
okay.
on your screen, and it's just a status thing. Like, look how rich I am. I blew $999 on this app.
I remember
But you
reading
know
an
what,
article with it was an interview with the creator of that app, and
Yeah.
he said people bought it.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but people bought it.
Yeah.
Well, I can see celebrities and people who have money to waste, like throwing
Right.
that shit away. Community Mike.
I got a question. What's the highest height that application recorded?
Yeah, can we look that
I'm
up?
curious.
I'm
You
interested.
probably-
I mean, what are we talking like? Did they
yeah.
strap it to a rocket here? I mean, just how
Some
high
people-
can we get on this?
I did not know that was a thing. I'm actually quite intrigued right
Yeah,
now.
we'll have to look it up and we'll post it.
Oh, it is on Google Play now.
Are you serious?
SMTH.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
We'll have to look up the stats for who had the highest record, and then we'll post it on Twitter.
I like this. So on the App Store, there's a video of like this girl smiling.
Oh, we got to see that after the show. I want to see that.
We'll tweet out what the highest scores were.
Oh, also it knows if you're cheating.
What? How?
I don't know. I didn't.
I
read
guess
the
we'll have to
article.
look
I guess
into
you
it.
can't attach it to a rocket. One more time, Community Mike.
So does it also record like how many G's it can pull? You know, I mean,
That's
what are we
probably
looking
how it
at here?
detects if
Good.
you're cheating or not.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna download this on my Chromebook and see if I can pull up the leaderboards.
oh my God.
There should be a weight prize.
All
Yeah,
right,
there should.
BGM. Next article. I still can't believe that's an app. Wow. You know how they say like nothing shocks me anymore. That actually shocked me. I didn't know it was a thing.
That shocks you.
I didn't know that was a thing. Well, also your love of cheese, but
But I wanted to say I wonder how this is how Google Play Protect is dealing with these rogue apps, because supposedly it's like a malware scanner built into the Play Store, but I don't know how well it works or if it's actually doing anything.
well, I've noticed that when I'm downloading or when I open up the Google Play Store,
Yeah.
At the top of all my apps that are
It says Play Protect.
last scanned,
Yeah,
4
but
hours ago.
That
and
could, but
nothing-
that could be a placebo or some bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't.
It
I,
could,
don't,
I'm
I,
just
don't I
saying.
don't know how well it works.
I know.
Are they actually scanning code or what?
I know.
are they
I don't
Yeah.
know. I just know that I haven't seen that before, and now I see it, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, yeah.
So is it a step in the right direction? Sure, I guess. I don't know.
Well, not necessarily, because I know it's there, but is it actually doing anything? Like, is it just like crowdsourcing reports for like?
Well,
who
it's
said
better than using those apps like a Lookout that's given to you by your carrier to check vulnerabilities on your
Oh,
phone.
yeah, I
You
don't-
know what I'm talking
I don't-
about?
yeah, I don't use
it's
Lookout.
the Lookout app. It's got that green looking.
Yeah, I've used
shield.
Lookout before.
You do?
Not, a long time ago.
Okay, yeah.
Long time
So
ago.
those things need to be gone and replaced. Repealed and replaced. All right, BGM next.
Next article. Most orgs agonize over IoT security, and this is the last one on the
Wait,
page.
say that again.
Okay.
So, most organizations agonize over IoT security. According to Forrester, 82% of global businesses struggle to identify all of their network-connected devices.
So what? Like they're not keeping active lists about what's connected?
What does this button do?
Oh, he's about to test that app. Okay. So with the Internet of Things, it's still connected to the network, which means there's still going to be like a list or an entry in the ARP table. So like, how are they not keeping track of what's connected and what's not connected to the network?
Because
People have poor auditing.
you hand out a couple Chromecasts and then you forget, and then you don't fucking know. You hand out a couple Chromecasts, you put an Apple TV somewhere or like things, and you just have all these shit on your devices, and you're like, maybe the previous IT guy installed it, and he's been gone for 3 years, didn't keep track of shit, and you're like, I don't know where any of this stuff is. It's on the network, but you don't know where it is. How you?
And you're afraid to just block that.
What if-
certain
what if
MAC
it's
because,
doing
like,
something-
it could be a critical business solution.
It could be something vital, and you're like, I don't know where it is, and I don't know what it's actually doing, but I don't want to fucking just cut it off. Well, and I mean other things too, but that's one thing.
Okay, Community Mike.
Like you talked about, you're afraid to turn it off. I'm not. If I got a unit somewhere that nobody knows where it's at, I shut it off. And when somebody complains, hey, I know exactly where it's at.
I don't know if that's the best practice.
That's almost like my theory for getting correct information the fastest is
Oh,
to on the
wrong
internet
information,
if you
right?
assert incorrect information,
They
someone
correct
will correct you.
They
right
correct
away.
you.
And
That's yep.
that's usually the fastest way to get the correct information.
Yep. The
Absolutely.
ball here is red. No, it's fucking blue, asshole.
Thank you.
Now I know.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, great.
So, do you guys want updates on this app?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I put in my name and then got a warning saying throwing a smartphone high into the air may result in both damage to the smartphone, property, and/or personal injury.
Huh. You don't say.
Dude,
And then there's a disclaimer.
I did not know. Oh, there's a
And
disclaimer.
then there's a disclaimer. I understand and agree that playing Send Me to Heaven is entirely at my own risk. I understand and agree that the author of Send Me to Heaven shall in no event be liable for any direct, indirect, incidental, consequential, or exemplary damages or injuries. I agree to that.
I think the
I'm gonna
funniest
throw
thing,
my phone as high as I can.
the funniest thing about this whole thing is that the author of the app, had to put in this disclaimer because he knows that not only are there people stupid enough to download and use this app,
Yeah.
but then to attempt to sue him
Of course.
for making a such app.
You think
I threw my Chromebook 0.07 meters, by the way. This thing determined.
legit.
So I'm trying to share my result now to see if I can get to a leaderboard.
Oh my god, I still can't believe that's a thing.
0.07 meters.
Satchel, do you have any opinion on the last story?
on which not on Send Me to Heaven.
No, the one about the Internet of Things being connected
Yeah, I
to
mean, we had a situation at a place I worked where someone hard coded a bunch of consumer devices with an IP address, and when we had
the same IP address.
well,
Or-
they were reporting to the same IP address.
Oh, okay,
right. And so then there came a situation where we needed to move them off of that IP address, and we all of a sudden bricked several thousand of these things, and so.
Sorry,
So
in the
that's
mi-
just, no, yeah. And so basically what I'm saying is that happens. I mean, people forget what the hell's on the network. They don't have time to look it up, and
You've got other shit to do.
you got other shit to do.
I don't
yeah.
know what this fucking guy from 3 years ago did while he was working here.
Yep.
I don't know where this fucking shit is. I got stuff to do, right?
Yep.
And I mean, you're not going to start unplugging shit in production systems and being like, I hope it doesn't break anything.
Look, those
Yeah.
who know me know that I test everything in production.
Let's do it live.
I've bricked routers because I'm updating firmware remotely. Okay, so
The moral of this podcast is don't be like Chin.
yeah, exactly.
Don't be like Chin.
What's your LinkedIn again?
I'm sorry. Actually, Community Mike, we couldn't hear you on that one.
We lock it down.
Sorry, dude. All right, so
not sorry.
that brings us to the end of the lightning round, right? BGM?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
It's in the lightning round. I cannot find a leaderboard.
Some,
on this app.
according to Reddit, in 2015, some players have managed to get their phones as high as 40 meters, 131 feet.
And catch it? Like, like,
no, those are broken
I'm not
phones.
saying what condition they were in when they came back down, but I'm just
God, they
saying.
have to be broken.
You know, does anybody have any spare phones I could just throw in the air?
Wait a minute. What if you drop it from a building?
No,
Doesn't
they
count.
know if you're cheating.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Because it says so in the app that socially engineered you to throw your phone in the air.
You know what? I've got a couple of test phones. I got a couple of test phones back at home.
He does.
Send them to heaven, Doxy.
Send them to heaven.
All right, guys, that brings us to the end of the lightning round, which brings us to the end of this show. As always, it might be rocky, but we never run out of shit to say. So join us again. We don't. We really don't.
What was that?
What?
I got it. I'm just
You
kidding.
get what I'm saying?
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Stop interrupting me.
I can
saw
smell
that
what you're
from
stepping
BGM.
in.
Okay. Anyway, join us again next week, as always. Which, by the way, guys, I won't be here next week. But anyway, you join the rest of these guys next week.
Real quick, there is a 2-star review of this app on the App Store that says, "It was really fun until I accidentally threw it on the concrete up 4.3 meters and my screen cracked really badly. It cost $90 to repair." If you're going to download this app, if you're going to download this, do it on a phone you don't care about.
I can't even believe.
These are the people.
I can't believe this shit.
These are the
I
people.
can't believe that there's a disclaimer and there are people who are using this fucking app.
Is there user
All right.
ID attached to that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yes.
Name attached
Yeah.
to
Yes.
Hold on, wait. Let's
Reach out to
Oh,
them.
Jesus fuck.
let's wrap this up. We can't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Fonzie, we can't hear you.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, look. Okay, let me start over. We run out of time, but as you can see,
Yeah.
we never run out of shit to say.
No.
So again, join us next week. These guys next week at
Next
7:30 on Friday. As always, here at the Sin Shop, 1075 American Pacific Drive, Sweet Sea in Henderson, Nevada. Go to sinshop.org for more information on the Sin Shop. Remember meetup.com/sinshop for our meetups, our classes, things going on. This Monday we have Lock Pick Night. I'll be there. I hope you guys will be there too. Zenify, aren't you going? He's maybe going. All right. And for information on us, go to Greynoise, GREYNOI.SE. My name is Master Chen.
My name is BGM.
This is Doxy.
And I'm Richard Satchel.
Good night, everybody.
Adios.